A new study finds that over 900,000 kids in the U.S. were victims of identity fraud this past year. The study, now in its second year, is causing alarm for households with children. We are joined now live by Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League. So, Jen, the headlines on this study's findings don't sound good, like good news for parents, certainly not. So, what can you tell us about the data and the trends that they're seeing?
Well, this is the second year, as you mentioned, that Javelin Strategy and Research has conducted this study of American households. And what they've done is they've examined identity theft and its direct impact on children. And as a parent myself, this is definitely an area of concern. Approximately 915,000 U.S. children were a victim of identity theft just last year. That costs the average single-family household here in the U.S. approximately $1,100 and 16 hours worth of time trying to solve this issue. So, these numbers aren't good. They're alarming. They are better than what was reported the year prior. So child ID fraud losses are down. I guess that's a little bit of a silver lining. But, nearly 1 million kids are the victims of identity theft. And they're showing that children under the age of 7 are most likely to be victimized. So it's a really fascinating study. It gives parents pause and, certainly moments to take concern and figure out how to address this issue, especially as young kids are leveraging social media and spending more time on devices thanks to the popularity of programs like TikTok and YouTube. Kids are online more and they're also downloading mobile games. And 41% of children who fall prey to these kinds of scams did it after they downloaded a game or a new mobile app.
So what are scammers doing with the information?
Well, children's social media accounts are a criminal's favorite thing to take over. So they're using their profiles to build new accounts, or they're taking information and they are creating online profiles with online merchants. Some are trying to open checking and savings accounts. I mean, the gamut's pretty wide here. I personally have heard that, they take perhaps one child's social security number and they pair it with another child's address to make it a little bit more difficult to tie the two and to prolong these scams. It's all very scary as a parent, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build new profiles, open new credit lines, and it's families, it's children that suffer.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of parents watching, I'm sure. So, if you're hearing this, it's probably super scary, as you were just mentioning. So what do we do to prevent this from happening to you or your child?
The easiest thing you can do as a parent is freeze your child's credit. Contact the 3 credit reporting bureaus and freeze their credit. There is no cost to do so. It's easy to unfreeze. That will prevent somebody from opening a new line of credit in your child's name. You also really need to monitor what your kids are doing when they're online and encourage them not to talk to strangers, not to solicit conversations with folks that you don't know. It's an easy way kids get preyed on, and not to overshare information. That's not just for kids, that's for parents too. And I know I'm guilty of this. Your kid does something great at their local school, you pop it up on Facebook, you're proud, but it's easy for scammers to build profiles and perhaps use that against you and use it against your child. So, it's really scary. You got to take pause and think about what you're doing. And then if you have financial resources, I always recommend paying for a credit monitoring service. But, those aren't free. They are very cost effective. You can talk to your credit union or your local community bank about which option might be good. But that's just a service that's constantly monitoring credit to make sure no new accounts or nefarious activity is happening.
All right, Jen Burke with those tips. Thank you so much. Something that we might not have thought about. Good to be aware of. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Megan. Have a great day.
You too.